Hello, I'm Kyle from Chaparral Motorsports, and today I want to introduce to you the Scorpoin EXO ST1400. Now this helmet is a carbon fiber composite helmet that's going to be extremely light, it's going to be aerodynamic, it's going to be quiet on the inside, and it's going to have several features that are unique to it as compared to other things in the marketplace. Now before I dig into the guts of this helmet to give you the detailed breakdown, I'm going to talk a little bit about the helmet. It has a couple trick things that really set it apart from others in the industry. The first is going to be the AirFit system. That's very, very unique to this helmet. Has a button on the inside that you push to inflate the cheek pads to give you perfect fit. There's a button to release that before you remove the helmet. It's a really neat feature. Now this is a size large. I'm going to attempt to demonstrate it for you, but I wear a small, so we'll have to see kind of how that plays out in the end. Another thing they do, we're going to do a little unboxing and show you what comes in the box, but they give you a full second shield. The second shield is pin lock ready, and it comes with a pin lock. So this is already an anti-fog system, but if you want more anti-fog, you can't get any better than a pin lock, and that does come inside the box. Now before we go there, I want to talk a little bit about the shell of this helmet. It is a carbon fiber shell. It is a resin-infused TCTU 3K carbon fiber shell. What that means is it's a thermodynamic composite technology, which is basically a weave that provides aircraft grade impact dispersal properties. So basically it's a revolutionary process consisting of a proprietary 5-layer blend of different fibers of specially formulated fiberglass. Now these layers are composed of aramid and organic polyresin fibers integrated together for maximum strength with maximum weight. Now what I think Scorpion's trying to get across when they say maximum weight is the fact that this carbon fiber composite weave they've created is extremely lightweight, but the strength of this shell allows maximum weight to be pushed against it before it fails or has some sort of structural degradation. So when it comes to aerodynamics, this is a very smooth shell. They did that on purpose. They did that so the air glides right over the helmet. You're going to see some very small external features to this helmet. Unlike other helmets that have big, abrupt angles to them, these are going to be nice, smooth lines that help the wind just kind of be glided and guided over the top of the helmet. Now, in addition to wind tunnel testing, they also did some CAD refinement of the lines on this helmet so they get the best possible airflow that you can get in a helmet such as this. So picking the helmet up and looking at it, you can see it's very teardrop shaped. It's going to come back to a point here in the back instead of just being a round helmet like we're going to see on lots of other helmets out there. This was done specifically for wind flow in order to make the helmet the most stable they could make it at speed. Now, if we flip the helmet up, you're also going to see that the cheek pads are contoured as well. When your head's inside this helmet and just your neck is sticking out, you're going to have a great seal all the way around the helmet. And then this chin skirt keeps wind from coming up inside the open cavity that typically exists on the underside of a helmet. You notice we have emergency quick release cheek pads here. When it comes to venting, what do we have here? This vent right here is super simple. Basically slide your hand backwards and you're going to open the vent. Slide your hand forward and it easily closes. Now this Venturi type vent here on the top is always open. I looked down that hole there and there's really nothing moving inside there. So this is always open, as well as are the exhaust vents. The exhaust vents are going to stay open all of the time. Continuing to rotate the helmet around, this front vent here is going to flow air not only directly through the helmet, but it's also going to flow up through this channel right here that's going to act as a defogger. Now, while speaking of defogging, this shield has been coated with a proprietary coating. Now, the venting here helps keep the shield fog-free. Now, that's a second layer of protection because the shield's been coated with what they call the Everclear No Fog coating. That's going to ensure that this shield never fogs on you. Now, if you ride in very inclement weather, there is a provision for this helmet that basically eliminates any fogging whatsoever, and that's going to be the pin lock. And we'll get to that in just a second as well. Now, I don't know if you noticed that when I close this shield, there is a very, very distinct lock or close that goes to this. You can have it cracked for city riding, but when you close this shield down, it locks down and back into place so that this seal completely has contact all the way around the visor. That's a huge plus. Being able to seal all air out is going to allow this helmet to remain as quiet as possible. Now, in addition to this shield being coated with the Everclear No Fog, the other shield that's coated with that same thing is going to be the Speed View drop-down sun visor. Now, the Speed View visor has one position down and one position up. There are not multiple positions within that range. Now, in looking at that quick view sun visor, it's a very simple operation. If you just slide your gloved hand from the front of the helmet to the back, it'll deploy the shield. And if you pull your hand from the back to the front, it's going to go ahead and retract it. Now, before we dig into the guts of the helmet, let's go ahead and take a look at what comes inside the box. Number one is going to be a very nice padded helmet bag. I really liked that feature. Next is going to be a visor bag that's going to have the Pinlock visor in it. Now, this is not going to have the anti-fog coating. What it's going to have instead are these two little pins right here that allow you to be able to install a pin lock. So this here is going to be the pin lock visor. I'm not going to take the yellowy plastic film off this because I don't want to affect it in any way. But basically what happens is you're going to take this pin lock and you're going to set it in place on one side. And then you're going to open up the shield a little bit and you're going to make sure that it sits perfectly. Now, there's a silicone ring that goes all the way around this. It's going to create a dual pane window effect. It looks a little bit murky right now, but that's because that protective film is on there that I don't want to remove for the next person who's going to use this helmet. Now, with the pin lock installed, you are completely shielded from any fogging that's going to happen on your visor. Now, if you ride off-road with this helmet, just note that dirt can harm that silicone seal that's in there and cause a little bit of scratching. So if you're going to ride this in the dirt, which is primarily a street helmet, but I do know some guys that do ride this in the dirt, you're going to want to make sure that the other shield is installed. Now that we've shown you kind of what comes in the box here, let's go ahead and put the traditional shield back on and then dig into the guts. All right, well, diving into the inside of the helmet, they have a Quick Wick 3 helmet liner. Now, that helmet liner is going to be antimicrobial and it's going to be anti-odor. So it's Quick Wick 3 liner that's in here is removable and washable. Now, the airbag that I talked about sits underneath the cheek pads. So let's go ahead and show you the removal here. I'm gonna go ahead and undo the double D ring, which is a nice feature. We're going to have 3 snaps that hold this cheek pad in place. And then we're going to go ahead and remove it, just like so. The chin curtain is also removable. I'm going to go ahead and remove that so I can show you exactly how that air fit system sits inside here. Because this is a sharp point here, it's just a little bit sticky in there. But here's a good view where you can see the air pump and then the air release up here in the chin bar of the helmet. So now that we have everything out of this helmet, you're going to see a couple things. Now what you can see, first look on the inside of the channels there that go from one vent hole to the next. That's going to allow the air to come in one side and flow to the other. It's a really nice feature that Scorpion has done well with. The other thing you're going to see before we go anywhere else is this here is the pump and this is the release, and these bladders here on the side are the bladders that give you the air fit. So essentially your cheek pads are going to sit on top of here, and when these bladders fill up, they're going to push the cheek pads closer and closer to your head. All right, with the chin straps tucked away so you can see both of these bladders, let's go ahead and demonstrate. We're going to go ahead and use the plunger here to inflate the cheek pads on both sides of the helmet. Now it takes about 10 or 12 pumps or so to get to the fully inflated status, which typically you wouldn't ever be running at. The helmet's going to want to fit nice and secure prior to that, but this is just going to give you that super contoured, personalized fit to finish things off. Now, before you remove the helmet, you're going to want to depress this button right here to release the air so you can then slip the helmet off. And as you can see, when you hit that button, these air bladders completely deflate and allow you to easily slip the helmet off. So now that we have the helmet all put back together, we're going to show you what it feels like, or I'm going to explain to you what it feels like on my head, and I'm going to explain how my glasses fit. Now again, I wear a small typically, and this is a large, so the helmet itself is going to be bigger on me than it would typically be otherwise. I'm feeling it's more of a round profile. I definitely can feel the EPS liner in the front and the back, and I have quite a bit of room around the sides here. I go and slip my glasses into place. And what I'm noticing with my glasses is there's a lot of room in here. The way that the polystyrene's been cut on the side and the cheek pads fit, I have zero pressure at all when I put my glasses into place. Let me go ahead and fasten the chin strap because that, again, can affect how a helmet sits on your head. So now I'm gonna go ahead, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but I'm pumping up the cheek pads. Oh, that's crazy. So I've got these cheek pads pretty much at their max capacity at the moment. It's pretty surprising how much space that takes up. So let's take a quick look. So I just deflated the pads. You can see that this helmet rocks pretty far side to side. I'm now gonna go ahead and air the helmet up. It's pretty crazy how I can feel that pressure begin. So now it's aired up. As you can see now, I still have some movement, but it has really tailored that helmet and made these cheek pads kind of suck in and fit almost where they should be. Now, while the cheek pads are fitting good here, I'm getting some pressure around the jaw here, and I'm feeling a good fit. The actual top of the helmet is not a good fit. It's a little bit big for me, but that's because it's a helmet that's really too big. But this here is what the EXO ST1400 looks like. Here it is with the shield down. This is a very aerodynamic helmet. It's a very light helmet. It's a very comfortable helmet. The internal liner feels top notch. I really like that air bladder that went ahead and tightened everything up. The cheek pads here feel like the helmet fits me, even though the top of the crown is a bit too big. And there you have it, the Scorpoin EXO ST1400 carbon fiber helmet. Carbon fiber, super lightweight, antimicrobial on the inside, removable washable liners, air fit cheek pads, quick release cheek pads, lots of ventilation, very aerodynamic. At just around the $400 price point, this helmet packs a lot of punch. If you liked what you saw today, or if you have any questions about this helmet, leave a comment below. If you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up, and if you want more action like this to come directly to your inbox, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be part of the notification squad. Until next time, and as always, take care and ride safe out there.